Good evening, everybody. It's me, Brother Washington Muhammad, he, him. This is the CSRN Video Minutes, and I have on a striped shirt, blue and white, blue hat, brown skin, and as always, dedicated to respecting and protecting all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. Hey, listen, we come here every week to talk about our updates, some of the things we've done last week, and some of the things that we have coming up. What I want to do now is get started with Jody. If you can read our mission statement, then we're going to toss it to Julian with our guiding principles, and maybe we see Ruth today too.
Maybe.
All right, I don't know what she is. All right.
Turn of events, a surprise situation. Yeah. So, what's up, everybody? I'm Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. I am a brown-skinned, cinnamon tone brown bear of a man. I am covered in wristbands and crystals and jewels. My clothing is representative of Toledo, Ohio, the city that I love, where I come from, where I was born. And yeah, there's the description on me. My pronoun, their gender pronouns would be him, he, or we. So this is our mission statement. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, the Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive community-based events that help foster development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable to their sworn duties, be they clergy, politician, law enforcement, educators, etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives must matter. And injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
Hey, thanks, Jody. And now, Julian, if you don't mind, if you can introduce yourself, your pronoun, little description of you, and if you can start with our guiding principles.
Sure. Hey, everybody. My name is Julian Mack, he, him. I'm a light brown man with burgundy polo on and a Black Power Fist medallion. And these are our guiding principles. Everything we do, we ground in our principles. So these are our guiding principles. All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor and working class Black lives, differently abled Black lives, Black men and women's lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children's lives. All Black lives matter. And our creators of this space, we throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
All right. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we are currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. We must embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be part of all of our work. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principled struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct and loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love and self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be the driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor the past struggles and wisdom from elders. Brother Washington. The work we do builds the foundation of the movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, and intentional and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
And training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe?
Ashe.
All right.
All right. You know what, Julian, before we get started, I don't know if I'm watching, if you could put something in the chat, comments, concerns, in the chat. We are in this political season. It takes a lot out of me, especially Jody. It takes a lot out of you. So just wanted to check in with you. Everything all right?
Yeah, it's going.
All right.
It's going.
And people have been asking me about the election. Why is it important to register? Why is it important to vote? And there's a lot of things happening all over the world right now. If you could take just a couple of minutes to talk about why it's important for us to be involved, all right, not only register, but also vote. And what are some of the other things that you're seeing in the world today that we need to really take a look at?
Well, yeah, it's important to vote because we have someone that would be okay with killing us in the White House. And, it's neo-fascist dictator aspirations.
Oh, okay.
So for the preservation of all of humanity, I encourage people to get out and vote. It is our duty, right? Like so for example, think of like a lot of times we only think of what can happen domestically, all right, in elections. How can voting benefit me? Right, but it's more than that, right? We have a responsibility as Americans, right, and being the most preeminent superpower to consider the effect that it has on all of humanity, right? So when we think about how people be treated around the world, and the influence that we have as a nation, it's our duty to at least have a say in how that goes as a nation. So it's important to vote. It's not the end all be all, but it is very important, and it's very important that you play a part in it.
Mm-hmm. Now, were there some local elections happening right now that people need to be aware of? Are there some local issues that people need to be aware of?
Yeah, there's metro parks on the ballot, which I think is issue 17. There's a tax levy to, I think, issue 3, which is to fix the roads. There's issue 4 is to fix the roads. Issue 3 is to continue to fund the municipal budget with the police, fire, and EMS as it's the three. I think it's 3/4 levy. And so those are the levies.
And 18, is that the children's services?
Yes, and 18 is children's services. So all are very important, right? I believe that I'm of the belief that most of the time when those levies come up, it's important to stick behind them and build a sense of, because those are what gives us the tools to build a community, right? Without us all chipping in their fair share, we don't end up with community.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
So yeah. Then of course there's Lucas County Sheriff race, where we have Brent Warner, who's the Republican that's works in the jail now. There's Mike Navarre, this Democrat who was TPD's former police chief in the 90s. Right. So if you want policing to go back to how it was in the 90s, that's your guy.
Okay.
And you have Earl Mack, right, who would be the first black man in I think over 40 some odd Lucas County sheriffs.
Okay.
So we have a wonderful opportunity there, and I think it's important. And these are my beliefs, but I think it's important that we have somebody that's rooted in the community, isn't a shucking and jiving type person, and who can someone who when he directs officers to make changes, they happen.
Okay.
Right. I don't think that. I think it would be very difficult for us to. And it would be a long time before we have another candidate with that type of resume. So yeah.
Now what about
city council?
Okay, I was going to ask about.
How could I forget?
Okay.
People have been asking me about city council because at one point you were vying for an appointment.
Yeah.
And word on the street is that you may have aspirations in 2021.
Yeah.
About actually campaigning and running.
Yeah.
However, there's some city council seats that are up for grab right now.
Yeah.
Who are they? Who's involved? And why should we be concerned? And then I see Ruth giving us the break sign.
Let's talk about it. So we have. So yes, I am running for city council next year for the full 4-year term, at large. Right. So likely one of these two people. I will probably be going against, but this is a city council race to finish out 1 year of a term. So Sandy Spang was tapped by the mayor to do some work in the Caps Cavas administration. So Katie Moline was approved by city council to serve in that position. She has to be chosen by the people, though.
Okay.
Right? And so however they're gonna finish out that year term, it's basically her versus Tony Dia. Katie Moline has worked as a CPA, a certified public accountant. Yeah. So she's good with numbers, right? Yeah.
All right.
And genuinely friendly, right? Tony Dia has said that Tony came out this week. Tony Dia has a murder on his record, and just a couple months ago, he said he wanted to run over protesters. So given those two things, and he's also a former owner of Platinum Showgirls. Yeah. Right. So those are your choices. Those are their backgrounds. And obviously, I'm for elected officials that haven't committed murder, and don't talk about running over protesters, right? Okay. And don't try to counter protest our events. Okay. So
good.
Yeah. So that's where I stand with that.
Hey, look, we're going to take a break. I think Ruth's going to sideline us for a couple of minutes. We're going to come back. Mm-hmm. We've got the report coming from Ruth regarding the.
Hold on. Also, I got to bring up Myron Duhart.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So we have an opportunity to put a brother at I think it's the 6th District Court of Appeals, which is a very high position for a judge. That not often we get a chance to put somebody in. Right. So I definitely wanted to bring up Brother Myron Duhart. Keep him in mind and make sure you vote for him because he's somebody that's rooted in our community too.
All right. It looks like we're getting the 2-minute break sign. Yeah. We're going to come back. Stay tuned. CSRN Video Minutes.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
Hello,
All right.
everyone.
I really think that that's my line that I'm supposed to be doing the hello. I'm supposed to be doing the hello stuff. We are, all right, we're back. CSRN.
Hi.
We have the lead of our administrative core.
What's up, guys?
Hey, and it is something that we could be so serious about rejuvenizing our community and standing up for justice.
Yes.
And at the same time, have a couple of seconds to have something to smile about. So remember that, all right? Look, remember that. Take some time to get some self-care.
Yes.
However, look, we've got Ruth Leonard, the lead of our administrative core.
What's up, people?
Every movement has to have someone in a place that they can make that final decision. And we're so proud to have Ruth with us to give us the no or go sign. And we always say if everything goes well, all of us get credit. But when it goes, when it goes left, hey,
They just blame black women.
That's right.
This
But
is bad as America.
right, really, but not really, but really. But leadership has a cost, and Ruth has been invaluable to this cause, and we love her. All right, for that.
And I love you guys. Oh my gosh. Hi.
All right.
Let's get started.
All right.
Teacher vote.
Right, we've got to get out the vote.
Yes.
That's going on.
Yes.
Election 2020.
Yes.
We've got the Citizens Review Board.
Yes.
We've got our Black Lives Matter billboard, which is on its last week. So we're going to try to squeak out everything for the GoFundMe because it's going up on the trail.
Yes.
And we got some swag. So people that can support us, some of those that may not have been able to show up at a protest, you can show up at our website.
Yeah.
So, hey, I just made that one up. So, get out the vote. Why is it important?
So, this week, and actually the end of this week, beginning of next week, so the 31st, Halloween, of course, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, CSRN will be hiring volunteers. You make $20 an hour, and we are scheduling 3-hour shifts. Because we need you to get out the vote. We need you to go and knock doors to find out if people have a plan to vote. Now, since we're doing this so close to Election Day, normally it would be to go out and provide absentee ballots, but now we're simply going and connecting with our community to figure out, do you have a plan to vote? And if you've already voted, can you commit to convincing 3 other people to go out and vote? Also figuring out if people are waiting until Election Day or if they don't know that they can go to early voting. We really want to get this information out, and we want to do it in as safe a way as possible. So after CSRN completes this meeting, we are going to post a link to a Google survey, I believe. And on that survey, you can select which shifts you would like to work. I think the longest day of shifts are going to be on Election Day because that is when we will have paid poll workers. But again, this is $20 an hour. CSRN is very thankful to the Ohio Women's Alliance for awarding us this grant so that we could go out and we can get out the vote and we can pay our community members to do this work. We don't want to keep it to ourselves. We want to give it to you. We want to give you money for convincing people to exercise their right to vote. I can't make it any simpler. Okay. So I'm sure you've seen this before. Lucas County residents, CSRN needs you to get out the vote. If you are interested, you can email us. You can send us Facebook messages. But it's $20 an hour for 3-hour shifts. So we're looking to make sure that we pay no less than $60 for each person that works. Okay. We're having an information session because I want to drive it home how important this is, because it's rare that we don't have a turnout for people who want to get paid to do this work. And again, this is simply you doing what you already do, convincing other people to vote, finding other people and finding out what their plan is, talking to the people. This is your chance to do it. So on Thursday, we will be hosting a virtual information session. I believe it will be at 6 p.m., 6 o'clock. And in that informational session, that's where you can really get into the nitty gritty, what exactly it is you'll be doing, where it is you'll be going, and the script. And I mean, the script is super simple. It's basically, hello, how are you? Do you have a plan to vote? What is your plan to vote? Go convince more people to vote. Like, we need you to vote. Look. I'm going to talk to y'all real right now.
It's just you and
It's
him.
just me and you.
All right,
It's just me and
right.
you. So 2020 has been a dumpster fire of a year. Okay. We got the Rona. We lost Black Panther. That's where I'm going to stop. That's just where I stop.
That's right.
But 2020 can be there can be an amazing end to 2020 if we can get Donald Trump out of office. We need to get Donald Trump out of office. No questions asked, full stop. He has done nothing but divide this country and make racists so brazen that I'm afraid I'm going to catch a case. And we want to keep me out of jail. And the way that we keep me out of jail is voting Donald Trump out of office.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. So $20 an hour. Look, we have reached that point. $20 an hour, minimum of $60 for every shift. Information session on Friday at 7 on CSRN's Facebook page. That's what I have to say about Get Out the Vote. What's next?
Hey, look,
This man.
obviously we just
not the Baker Board show.
That's okay. All right, let's let our production manager do what he does. All right.
I'm gonna need you to
That's
Okay, DJ Khaled.
hey, that's what we hired him for. All right, we didn't hire him.
you get what
He
you pay
just
for.
showed up.
Yeah.
Oh, he just showed up off the street. All right, wandering around the studio. Hey, listen, there's a couple of things that people that have asked me about. One was, is there any new movement regarding the Citizens Review Board? And also, is this really the last week for the GoFundMe, for the billboard?
Okay.
So, Citizens Review.
So, in regards to the Citizen Review Board, I do believe that we are still meeting. I think we have a meeting this week as a full committee of 35 to 40 to 127 people.
That's a lot of people.
It is. But the subcommittees have still been meeting. There's still some progress that is, being attempted to be made. I personally think that it's a big endeavor to have that many cooks in the kitchen and think that you're going to pull off a bundt cake. It's just too many. It's multiple perspectives, but egos aren't being left at the door, and feelings are taking center stage when we are talking about humanity that should be taking center stage. So we're looking at the reality of what it's like to have this many people on one overall committee and the issues and situations that come along with that. But it's still happening and it's still moving forward. So yes, the Civilian Review Board is still meeting. I know that we are also working with some members of City Council to make sure that we can have something that moves forward through City Council. Because so initially the mayor's police committee was supposed to come up with something
Right.
And when that didn't happen after 45 days, that's how we got the Civilian Review Board to take center stage, right? So that's what I was talking about with the whole group of people. Now with the Civilian Review Board, we're looking at putting it out to City Council. Hopefully it can go through without having to go into City Council committee, and just creating a safer space for Toledoans, creating opportunities for Toledoans to voice when they feel like they've been violated and not have the fear of the wrath of the police department following behind them.
I'm sorry. And
it's really important that we have a civilian review board, though. I mean, especially when you look at what the potential city council members' platform is, which is basically supporting the police in any and all endeavors, and the police supporting him in any and all endeavors. When there's no checks and balances, then that's how you get really unfair legislation that comes out. That's how you get best practices that only benefit the police officers. So right now we're looking to have something go forward on city council, hopefully before the end of the year, that will truly protect the citizens of Toledo. Now, the last thing was
somebody just texted me when you were talking about the police. Some people that saw you at the there was a forum regarding Refund Toledo, and you were on it.
Oh, at Lord's?
And you were speaking.
Yes.
And people were wondering, well, what does Refund Toledo has to do with all of this? And I said, well, I'm not going to... Just tune in, and I think they're logging on now to tune in. And I said, well, I'll ask her, and I hope they're listening.
Yes. So Refund Toledo is an initiative that came out of the National Black Convention, that came on the heels of the nationwide call to defund the police. So what we want to do is not only reallocate the budget of the police department, but we want to make sure that it's going into the spaces where it is actually needed, where it can have the biggest benefit and bang for its buck. So Refund Toledo looks at all of the different areas in Toledo. So whether that's neighborhoods and development, youth commission, whether that's making sure that we have grocery stores, whether that's making sure that we can fund pre-K for all children, universal pre-K. We want to make sure that instead of a budget where 33% of it goes directly to the police department, 3% goes to neighborhoods and development, and nothing goes to youth commission. We have a more fair and balanced, simply to have more police officers, because police officers are often reactionary to situations that have happened. A crime is committed, then the police show up. But what are we doing as a community to make sure that the individuals who commit that crime don't have to go through situations where they felt like that crime was their only option? What are we doing for mental health? What are we doing for substance abuse? What are we doing for access to clean food and affordable food? What are we doing for access to clean water? What are we doing to make sure that our community members do not have one set of people who live one side of way in one particular neighborhood and another group that's doing so much better, when we're all supposed to be in the same city, in the same community? So Refund Toledo is a reallocation of resources that makes sure that individuals have the basic bare minimum of what is needed to live a fully independent life.
Look, if you don't mind, let's take a couple of all right, let's calm down. I hope that if anyone was wanted the definition of Refund Toledo, I really think that you've got it. All right. We've got a couple of things before we go to break. If you could, this is our last week of our GoFundMe for the billboard. And where can people get their swag?
So it can actually all be done in the same place, right? If you go to CSRNToledo.com, you will be able to see, number one, whatever we are working on for that particular week. Right underneath that, you will be able to see things like the billboard. I'm sorry, what's it called?
The GoFundMe billboard?
Yes, the GoFundMe for our Black Lives Matter billboard.
Yeah.
You can click that link and it'll take you right to GoFundMe, where you can continue to add to our campaign. What we want to do is we want to move the billboard from Dorr and Monroe,
From
Detroit, Bancroft. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Bancroft and Detroit, that's okay.
Okay, we want to move it from Bancroft and Detroit to
Collingwood and the Trail.
yes.
We are.
Yes, we are doing that. But we also need your help. We can't do this on our own. So please go to CSRNToledo.com and click on the icon of the Black Lives Matter billboard. And that is where you can donate to make sure that we have enough funds necessary to move our billboard from one location to the next. We try to move it all around the city.
That's right.
And then last but not least, if you are interested in getting any of our swag, Jody, what do we got?
We have.
Oh,
Come a little closer up to the light.
Okay.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you asked. All right.
I
And
did.
here he is.
Hello, Jody.
Never
Give
seen
me
him.
them over there on the table.
Okay, yeah, give me something.
So-
Why you
Don't
sound
tell
like
on the phone.
100 years old? Uncle Elijah. Go ahead,
There you go,
give me that thing
Grandpa.
right there.
So we have wristbands. They come in
Oh, bam.
black on yellow,
What?
or yellow on black.
Okay,
Got
all right.
buttons, of all kinds, all designs, everything like that.
Uh-huh.
We have
What?
keychains.
Oh,
Okay,
We got
I
okay.
thought
Yeah,
book bags
oh,
and stuff
right.
like that. We got keychains,
Keychains?
all kinds of designs. We have stickers with
Oh.
our logo. And you know, those stickers go on, what are they?
They can go on laptops. They can go on not backpacks. They can go on binders. They can go on refrigerators. You can put it on your car. Anywhere you can put a sticker, you can put our sticker.
And we put some on the glass box.
Okay.
Oh yes,
We sold
yes.
out.
Yes, we have a few of our brand new eco-friendly glass water bottles that feature our stickers.
And also, in addition, because we have stickers, we have buttons, we have wristbands, we got T-shirts
We got T-shirts.
of
That's
the
right.
old design that you can get in and be a part of,
Well,
and
they're
everything
throwback
like that.
design.
Yes.
All right. Not necessarily old design.
Well, they're throwback, but you know, it
Hey.
involves some history. And
Hey. Oh, look at that. Wow.
we also have, of course, since I'm a published author and all that stuff, you can go on and purchase
Wow.
Chairs of the Wounded,
That's
which is
awesome.
about domestic violence
Oh.
and everything like that. Get one of the books. The link, I believe, is on the page.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay. And also
It
something
is
that's
now.
new, because my printer for the sticker guy, that I do my own individual art there, coming out and stickers and stuff, just sent me something.
What?
So Ruth will be putting on there very shortly.
Boom.
These are the new ones.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh.
So those are the new designs. They are 3 inches by 4 inches.
Okay, that one. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with
that was good. But 3 inches by 4 inches, this was gonna scare people, but it's about
Okay.
the planet.
Okay, that was
But yeah,
Oh,
I'm releasing designs every month. So right now I am at 6 designs, and every month I'll release 2 more out of the Ink Truth collection, and they'll be on our page. So those profits won't go to me; they'll be going to us.
Yes.
All right. Hey, look.
Oh wait, hold on, really quickly. Last thing, there is this Saturday the Black Lives Matter book club. The Black Lives Matter book club is through the Toledo Lucas County Public Library. You can register online. They will be reading 2 books stamped from the beginning, or you can read the abridged version, which is also called stamped. Now, this book is very thick. But it's actually really good. It's a really good read. Even if you just want to go out and grab it and flip through it, I think it'd be really worthwhile to join the Black Lives Matter book club through the library, because we don't always have the opportunity to start events, but I think whenever we can join them, that it's really beneficial. And I want to definitely celebrate and support the library, especially the fact that they brought Nikki Giovanni to the library. I want to say it was on Sunday, so
Right.
shout out to them.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Hey, look, Ruth.
That's
We're gonna
me.
take a
That's
couple
you.
of minutes.
Okay.
Yes, Ruth and Judy. We're gonna take a couple of minutes. We're gonna come back. All
That's
right.
your library.
We might be a little bit
Exciting
organized.
news.
We'll talk to our project or program manager. All right, see what's on their mind. So stick with us. Come on back, CSRN.
Library.
I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
Hey, we're back, and as always, good help is hard to find. All right, somebody has hell to pay for that one right there. But listen, welcome back to CSRN. These are our video minutes. We come to you live from the CSRN headquarters. This is our pandemic headquarters. We were right before the pandemic. We were meeting at 1416 Nebraska with the Padua Center. And then there was some time we would meet at the St. Martin de Porres, at the Gallagher Hall. There's a lot of places that welcome CSRN, and so that we can have a place to plan. So for the Padua Center, St. Martin de Porres, the library, Muhammad's Mosque number 91, so many people opened up our doors for us. And now we're in our pandemic site right here that we come to you every Tuesday, 6 p.m., discuss some of the things that have gone on the previous week and the things that we're doing now, some of the things that we have planning on in the future. What we want to do right now is to talk about our community, some of the pros that's happening in our community, some of the takeaways with the violence and what's happening with our youth. So I wanted to bring Jody on to talk about some of the shout outs and some of the solutions. Regardless what you say, there are people out right now on the front line making our community a safe and decent place to live. And sometimes they may not get the recognition that others get. So we've got Jody to talk about some of those things. And how does art intertwine with it? Jody?
All righty. So everybody, as always, it's becoming fall now. So there's going to be less opportunities, of course, with the social distancing and COVID and restrictions. We've had a very enjoyable summer. We've been able to do a lot of events outside in parks and locations and pop-up shops. That is coming to the point now where we got to kind of restructure. But always shout out to the organizations and the people that are trying to engage with the youth, even though they don't have a budget. That's another thing. In a moment, I'll be switching over to elected official mode to tell you about voting and what's going on, how it's going to look like at the polls, because I am a poll worker as well. So just to give you some of that side of my brain. But for right now, shout out to the Arts Commission. Shout out to Gutter Dave and Tremaine at the program. I'm never going to get your name right. I just accept that fact. Shout out to Brothers United, Chris McBrayer, all of the other people that took their business from the churches and community centers and youth centers all summer long and tried to hold programs there. It was one, and I'm not sure if it's still going on with the fall coming and the snow and stuff, but that was holding events every Monday. Julian may know a little bit more about that, teaching kids how to play chess. And engage with them and stuff like that. So shout out to all these programs. Shout out to the Arts Commission and the library as well, because we just relaunched what we did during the pandemic, which was Your Chapter Awaits, which was my poem and creation given to 7 illustrators. Those 7 illustrators took that poem and gave them posters and brought them to life, which is engaging kids to read. They're posted up in all the libraries. I believe we have a total of 9 or 10 different museums around the city and Ohio. And you can always go in there and pick up a poster. Most of them are signed as I make my way around. I like graffiti and walls and everything. But shout out to them for encouraging people, even though times are tragic, aside from the politics, which I'll get to in a moment. But thank you for all you do in the community. Again, with no budget, again, with everything going on, and then just you trying to help a kid out. I know they're back in school now doing the hybrid or being at full time. So it's difficult for them, or we're fighting like animals over a lot of stuff going on. They have to sit and ask us, what are we supposed to do next? Many of us don't have the answers. Julian had a remark, and then I'll go into the elected official stuff.
Yeah, the teaching chess and sign language program is trying to move indoors. So we will be, they're raising money for that. And so we will be sharing their GoFundMe on there too. So keep an eye out for that.
All right, we're gonna bring out the big stick. So last week, I took my voice and became part of the solution, which was going to early vote. It's a little sticker right there. I don't know, it's a little bright, but you can see it.
Okay.
Sits on the other side of our BLM. We have stickers as well, but this is my second term in office. As Ruth was talking about coming to election with GEOTV, we are doing the canvassing. We started out as canvassers, knocking on doors. That's why the poem last week was Knock Knock, which gives us valid experience from doing the work, not just saying, hey, I've been doing something for a couple of years. I still should be considered apprentice. Give me Supreme Court. But anyway, I had to throw that in there because the way the country is right now, you kind of know my opinion. You can look at my page. You can look what I do with my life, who or who not my vote would be for. My job as precinct captain 18C, reelected, and I don't know if I'll go further in the process because I want to engage people. I don't feel I need to be paid for it. And once you start getting a check or an income from politics, you'll be changed. It's a little bit different. You have restrictions, you have a flow, and you are stuck between certain parties. Me, I can talk to Green Party. I can talk to Republicans that have sense. I can talk to Democrats. I can talk to Tea Party, Libertarians, all of them, and hear how my community screams. A lot of these people you will not see until this is a presidential election. 2 years ago, we were doing the same thing. 4 years ago, we were doing the same thing. It's all about getting out the house. I applaud every American in this country, whether you be for the donkey or whether you be for the elephant or another anonymous party, you voted early. We have hit record numbers that we have not seen since the 1900s. Whether that be out of fear or responsibility, you voted. Now, if you have already done that job or you haven't, come up with a plan. Make something to get your voice out there because that's really the only choice you have. You can sit on your thumbs and you'll hear the poem later on during 5 Minutes of Heat. But however we feel individually, it's still, so you get out there and voice your opinion. Do your own research. Vote however you feel, whether it be the senile old man or the senile old kind of younger man. That's the choices we have at the top. But do not remember. I'm so serious. Even I'm probably gonna get a call later on, but I don't care because that's the reason why I march those streets. That's the reason why I knock those doors, because I want you to have a choice. So, top of the ticket, you know my opinion. All the way down, that's your community. That's your judges, your lawyers, your people that are going to sit in these seats until next election, because we got, I love Katie, but stuff is where it's at. So vote with your conscience, vote with your heart. Whether you are comfortable how you have seen the country evolve in the last 4 years, or you want to try something different, do something. That's my PSA.
All right. Jody, hey, look, we're going to take a couple of minutes. We're going to come back. We've got Ruth. We've got Julian. There's a couple other things that we wanted to highlight before we close out. So listen, Come back. We're going to take a couple of minutes, a break. Come back, CSRN video minutes.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
Hey, we're back. CSRN. Can we see Ruth? Well, now we can
Hello.
see Jody. We can see Ruth. All right. Hey, listen,
She
we're
might have
gonna.
to go back to the arm.
All right,
No.
we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna kind of wrap up today. I think that Julian had something regarding some international things, what our brothers and sisters are dealing with in Nigeria. I think that's something that's serious that we definitely need to be able to talk about on here. I think there's a couple of things that Jody I needed to highlight, especially with 5 minutes of heat when we about to close out. And so, and also Ruth. So Julian, we were talking about SARS. We're talking about Nigeria. Why is this a subject that everybody needs to pay attention to?
Well, because Black Lives Matter worldwide, right? Like we're not just crying out for Black Lives to matter locally, but Black Lives Matter worldwide. And when we look at the way that imperialism has and colonialism has impacted Africa, that is white supremacy, right? Like we have to be clear that white supremacy can be perpetuated in blackface, right? And so the oppressive way, right, that the Nigerian police are functioning is a danger to Black people in Nigeria and is not right or just. So we're joining with the many people across the world to end SARS, which is actually a special brand of the police force there, which stands for Special Anti-Robbery Squad, right? That's what this has nothing to do with the pandemic.
Yeah.
This is their Special Agent Robbery Squad, which has particularly profiled and harassed Nigerians for just simply walking down the street. There was an incident where a couple weeks ago where dozens of Nigerians were killed by police at the same time, right? And there's been no accountability for it at all, right? And so we call for Black Lives to Matter locally and internationally, and we stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. 1 out of 3 Black folks are descendants of Nigeria. A lot of folks don't know that. Black folks in America are descendants of Nigeria. So that connection is deeper than a lot of us know, right? But we stand in solidarity with them.
All right, thank you, Julian. Jody, anything that we missed before we?
Oh yeah, along with the page. Shout out to the awesome Ruth for having our website going and keeping it strong. We forgot the yard signs. We still have plenty of BLM signs. Trying to think, anything else with the community? I know you have something to mention about an auto zone and some situations that we're dealing with, because again, this is our pandemic headquarters. We would love the opportunity to meet people like we did pre-pandemic, but you can still contact us individually. You can still tell us your problems. We are responsive. If it's not one of the four of us, to be honest, then you might be speaking to the wrong organization or something like that. But if you're speaking to CSRN, you're speaking to the people you see on camera. And we try and do and help as much as we can outside of these Tuesday meetings.
Right. And, I've had a few shout outs. Julian was talking about how to keep the pressure on. And we've got quite a few groups in Toledo that are still continuing to meet, to gather, to protest, from Toledo Collective to Toledo Persist, Toledo Together, Justice Equality Toledo. And there's a lot of other groups that are meeting that you'd have no idea. But we come together for awareness. We come together to still keep the pressure on. I also wanted to bring up our brother Cyrus Gaston. A few weeks ago, he had made a post regarding AutoZone and how they forced him out. They fired him because of a face mask that most people are wearing. The mask said, "I can't breathe," and they forced him to quit his job, and they forced him to accept being fired. I disagree with that because of the temperature in the country. Everyone is being involved with the plight of Black lives. And corporate America, on every other commercial, there's a corporate America, Black Lives Matter. We spend a lot of money at AutoZone. So what we want to do, we're going to bring Cyrus on our page soon so you can hear in his words. This is a lovely brother, intelligent brother, and wants to stand strong with us, and we need to stand strong with him. So be looking out for that. We're not going to be here next week because we want everyone to get out to vote, and Ruth is going to have all of us out there knocking on doors.
Yeah.
Knocking on doors, all right? From sun up to sundown, we'll be out. So so you won't be seeing us, all right? If you see us, we'll probably have some clipboards and pens.
Yep.
All right. And lastly, regarding our correctional institution update, a few years ago, a brother of ours died while being incarcerated. His name is Alexander Pullum. His mom served in the military, did an awesome job being in the military, putting her life on the line as a medic and saving the lives of those who fight for America, just so that she can watch her son die in captivity. It didn't have to happen. If you listen to her story, it will shake you to the core on how the prisons and the local hospitals collaborate to make sure that our organs are harvested, regardless if they can do something for us or not. We're going to bring her on our page so that you can hear her in her own words. We're working with a few other organizations to fight for justice for Alexander Pullum, and he was an excellent young man, about to be married, had his whole life in front of him just to be taken out this way. So be looking out for those two things coming up, Cyrus Gaston and Alexander Pullum's mom to be on our page, to be interviewed by Ruth. You've seen her on our weekly teach-ins, and you've seen how she interviews some of the local scholars and politicians and experts. So we're putting our best out there because they deserve our best. So I think that that's all that I have, Ruth.
Richard, you got something? You haven't spoken, Ruth, besides yep.
Right. Well, let's bring Julian back, and then we're going to get the nod from Ruth to go to 5 minutes to eat.
I just wanted to point out what happened to Walter Wallace in Philadelphia yesterday. He was murdered in broad daylight on camera in the middle of a mental health crisis. Right. I just want to make that connection to what we're doing locally with Refund Toledo, where we believe that mental health experts are best served to address these issues, not police officers. And so, I mean, that's exactly what we're trying to prevent here locally. Also, the Protect the Vote. Any of you that want to start mobilizing to protect the vote, check our page. We're preparing for the results not to be accepted right now. So when we wake up on the 4th, we can be mobilized and ready to go. So sign up for the Protect the Vote effort. There's a statewide effort going on, and we're mobilizing here locally.
All right. Ruth, there was somebody asked, are you going to be a part of a YWCA diversity? People hey, what about this? She's doing this. She's doing that. Obviously, I'm not doing anything, but that's okay. All right. Ruth, what is this workshop about, and why should people know?
So on Thursday, turn it a little bit.
Ooh, okay.
On Thursday of this week, I believe that's the 29th. No, I'm sorry. On Wednesday and Thursday of this week, the YWCA is hosting their anti-racism conference. And so on Wednesday, the incomparable Jane Elliott will be there to, just gather all ye white women. She is the woman who did the infamous brown-eyed, blue-eyed experiment back in, I think, the late 50s, early 60s, to just get children to understand.
Don't look at me like I was there.
Like you was there. You was in the classroom.
Hey, all right.
I mean, he was next door because they were segregated. No, but so she did that infamous experiment years ago and has just been gathering white women to just get them to understand how racism works systemically and how they benefit from it. But on the second day, there will be Dr. Barbara Love, and Dr. Barbara Love will also be talking about how systemic racism plays a role in everyday life. And then there are breakout sessions. So Lisa McDuffie reached out to me to speak about social advocacy and rallying support. So basically myself and Lucas Stahl, who works with, I think the United Way, we'll be coming together to talk about, how do you drum up support for your cause? How do you put together a rally? How do you put together a protest? What goes into that? What are what's the cost benefit analysis of hosting events like that? So we're just going to give like a very basic understanding of how to put together these types of social movements, just so if anyone else is interested in it, they can have a framework to start.
All right.
And Brother Washington, you participated in an event this week. You're not giving yourself enough credit. Can you tell us about the harm reduction event that you helped host at the UAW?
All right. All right. Man, it was an honor to be there. So shout out to Sativa Banks and Young People in Recovery. Shout out to Courtney Stewart for being on the panel. We're talking about harm reduction and how the opiate crisis affects, the Black community. And in my profession as a counseling assistant and mental health specialist and prevention specialist, that does impact our lives, a lot. And we also talked about harm reduction, and it's a real thing for those who are still in active addiction that we do. There are places where you can get clean needles. We can reduce the pervasive AIDS epidemic. We can reduce so many things, hepatitis, by just using a clean needle. And there are people out here that are willing to help. We talked about mental health, and as Julian was talking about, we've got to take care of our mental health. You can just go online and find some grounded techniques that will center you, that will recenter you. 2020 has thrown everyone off, especially the world of addiction, that a lot of us have no idea what to do in a pandemic regarding helping people that are dealing with mental health, that are dealing with addiction. So young people in recovery, thank you for putting together an awesome town hall. Everybody that was invited, from the clinicians to the DART program to everyone that's involved in serving our people in whatever capacity that we can that they can share. So, hey, thanks for reminding me of that. Hey, this is what we do. Black Lives Matter, not only for police injustice, not only for food deserts, economic justice, but also mental health, education. Wherever you find Black people, our lives matter, regardless of our domain or wherever you find us. So wanted to shout out that, so that we can stay holistically healthy, not only our minds, but our spirit, our soul, our bodies, our vibration, our everything. So, hey, it is what it is. So thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah,
all right,
do good work.
And now, Jody.
So everybody, as you can see, and again, we won't be here next week. Next week, we will be independently doing our best to make sure you get out and vote. Like,
Yep.
So, independently, we'll be making sure, as we were once canvassers, now we'll be training canvassers. As we were once trying to get people elected, we are now elected. As we take our own individual roles. Myself, I'm a poll worker. So that Monday, I will be setting up the machines for you to vote unless we get a call or something changes. But again, I love the pressure that has been put on by early voting, because it makes sure ballots, the stuff that's been done to the post office, the stuff that's being done online, you made your choice. Now you have the opportunity to help others make that choice. Brother Washington is a poll branch manager. So, yes, because this is not a soundbite for us.
He blew my spot.
But that is the honesty of it. This is not a soundbite for us. This is not just something that happened because of George Floyd or anything else. This is our lives. This is what we do to make our communities better in whatever way we can. So my talent is, we all got little talents, like these are my Justice Avengers. Is spoken word.
All right.
Again, warning and letting you know, for all of those creative writers out there, the authors, the note takers, and everything like that. We've been saying it for years. And October 31st is actually coming. The notes feature that is on Facebook, if you save stuff, and this is how I've kind of created my entire career, will be done with. You will not be able to edit or publish anymore. They're staying there for now. They say that they care about our creative wealth and stuff like that, but you won't be able to go back and edit stuff. If you have drafts, they are deleting them. So as of today, you have 4 days for anybody, again, that is a creative writer. You jot down notes. You have that love letter to a friend that you saved that you just never sent off. Or that message to Congress you never sent off. Make sure it's saved.
Okay.
Get a flash drive, put it on Google Drive, put it somewhere, because that's the reality of the world we live in right now. So this piece is called Ballots of Truth. It's our last opportunity and push to make sure you use your voice. Let's begin. Peace. If you choose not to vote, I don't want to hear a word out your throat. Not a whisper, nor a whimper, about politicians having fun or nothing getting done. When you decide to sit on your capable thumbs, you've already made your choice. So stop silencing someone else's voice. If you're gonna complain, you might as well do something for change, or sit in your box covered in locks while the rest of us break chains. Voting is not just a choice. It's a rite of passage. Your forefathers and ancestors sacrificed everything, including their lives, so you could have a voice. Don't squander the gift they left to you by choosing the path of silence or running a rampage in the streets, claiming all politicians are filled with deceit and no compassion for their fellow human beings. If you feel that strong, then use your voice as you leave your mark on the ballot. Remember those who were shot just for thinking they had a choice. So vote now or forever lose your voice, as your empty ballot speaks volumes about how much you matter. In peace. Stuff was messed up with the Supreme Court, but that will continue to happen unless you speak up about it. Start from the bottom, work your way up.
All right, Jody. Thank you, Jody. And now we're going to close out with our solidarity pledge. Do we have Ruth?
Yeah, I got it. And actually, before I do that, I want to say the mandate in our time. So if y'all could just repeat after me. The mandate in this time
The mandate in this time
is to avenge the suffering of our ancestors,
is to avenge the suffering of our ancestors,
earn the respect of future generations,
earn the respect of future generations,
and be willing to be transformed
and be willing to be transformed
in service of the work.
in service of the work.
Hit us, Ruth.
take us home.
Yep.
No?
Oh, okay.
What is the mandate from?
Oh, it's from the Movement for Black Lives.
Okay, thank you.
Ah.
Everyone say aye.
Aye.
Say your name.
Brother Washington.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To love my brothers and my sisters.
To love my brothers and our sisters
As I love myself.
As I love myself.
I.
Aye.
Say your name.
Brother
Jason
Washington.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To study to improve myself.
To study to improve myself.
Spiritually.
Spiritually.
Mentally.
Mentally.
Morally.
Morally.
And physically.
And physically.
For the benefit of myself.
For the benefit of myself.
My family.
My family.
And my people.
And my people.
I.
I.
Say your name.
Brother Washington.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to strive.
To be a part of the solution.
To be a part of the solution.
The process.
The process.
And not the problem.
And not the problem.
I.
I.
Say the name.
Brother Washington.
Pledge to strive.
Pledge to
To
strive.
give all that I can spare.
To give all that I can spare.
Of my time.
Of my time.
My strength.
My strength.
And energy.
And energy.
To achieve.
To achieve.
The above said.
The above
Now
said.
give yourselves a round of
Great
applause.
job. Great job.
Make sure you contact CSRN to get out the vote. We need you. We want to pay you. Come and get this money.
Vote.
Vote.
Peace.
All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter, Justice or else.
Yeah.